to keep our kids safe. We work together to combat gun violence, to develop and implement real recommendations to reduce violence in our city. As a mother who have lost 2 kids to gun violence, I know there's no greater advocate in the race for mayor who has the record and experience in working to get guns off our street. She had proven that because I have to tell this quick story. When we was in Harlem, they had rats on the wall that say, if you snitch, you gon' get shot. If you snitch, you gon' get a stitch. Who came to Harlem and made them paint on that wall but our courageous leader, Christine Quinn? But we did get threatened and lost and try to get sued.
But we won, Jackie.
But we won. We won because she's a winner. As a mother and as a woman, I know that New Yorkers need a mayor with experience and a vision. There's only one candidate in this race with a record of results. I'm joined up here by women who know that New York's next mayor can't just talk the talk, but they have to walk the walk like Christine. There is simply no one in this race who have gotten more done, more work, with more people, and delivered more results than Christine Quinn. Christine Quinn have a brain, and Christine Quinn could think. She is the real deal. Today, again, I'm honored to stand here and talk about a lady who have done so much for the nation, for the state, for the city, Miss Abzug. We are joined today by her wonderful daughter that's keeping her dream alive, and she's training young women, and she's nurturing young women, and she's here with us today to stand and say that we want our next mayor to be Christine Quinn.
Christine Quinn.
Christine Quinn.
Christine Quinn.
Christine Quinn.
Christine Quinn.
Miss Liz Abzug.
Jackie's fired up. That's great.
Ready to go.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Liz Abzug. I am one of the daughters of the late, great former Congresswoman Abzug, who, for those of you out there, was the first woman to run for mayor of New York City in 1977. She always said, my mother did, that the test for whether or not you can hold a job should not be the arrangement of your chromosomes. I'm not supporting Christine because she is a woman, but because she's been and will be an effective advocate for all women and all of New Yorkers through each and every neighborhood and borough of this city. Chris has the experience that I think we need to govern the biggest city in this nation. She's been there, she's done it, she's learned as speaker the complexities of this city and all the neighborhoods that are impacted. On healthcare, Chris has been a leader in developing innovative solutions to protect New Yorkers' health and ensure quality for middle-class families. And even though this is a New York City reproductive health clinic favorable place, we still face protesters trying to prevent women from getting basic reproductive and abortion health care. Chris has worked with providers to pass a national model clinic access bill, making it illegal to obstruct New Yorkers, access to reproductive health plans, making it illegal if you obstruct access. But she hasn't stopped there. Her office is working to train dozens of New Yorkers as clinic access defenders to protect the rights of those women who are seeking care. I believe that Chris has the vision, the strength to see beyond the problems that might stump other candidates in this race and other legislatures to get this done. As Speaker, she has learned. She has learned that as Mayor, you must listen and project the needs of everyday New Yorkers in every community, in every borough, in every neighborhood. Yes, she's a woman, and yes, she's a gay woman, but she's also the leader that has the ability to galvanize all New Yorkers to come together and to speak to the concerns of middle-class, everyday working New Yorkers. So it is for that reason that I am supporting Quinn, and I hope that in the tradition of my great late mother, Bella Abzug, and all of the key women leaders who you will hear from today, and who you've already heard from, Jackie, that we will have a woman for the mayor of the city of New York. I would like to introduce the Honorable Ronnie Eldridge, Councilwoman for this district in the Upper West Side, someone who has the head of, CUNY TV, and someone has enormous wisdom.
I was her mother's first campaign manager when she ran for Congress for the first time. Actually, that's not true. She didn't talk to me, did she?
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Anyway, a long admirer and cohort of hers. I'm here because I think I've lived so long. I met Eleanor Roosevelt when I was a student at Joan of Arc Junior High School. And that's because we had civics in the school, in junior high school, and that civics is what get me on my road to politics. And I know if she was writing My Day Today, which was her daily column, she would be in full support of Quinn for mayor. And partially because she is a woman. Because she and I and a lot of women believe that women have a very special perspective on politics and how a government should run. And Chris is the best illustration of that. Her enormous interest in people, her passionate advocacy for all the things that help families and the cities thrive, her energy and her enthusiasm. She has that touch of being able to relate to everyone from different issues and different centers of the city to bring them all together. I know that other women have run, my good friend Ruth Messenger, who followed Bella, but I don't think ever the front runner has been a woman. And I think that's a great advantage for us because we women, we don't support easily. As Chris knows, we don't support easily. But when we do, you have our full commitment and our energy. And I can assure you that this energy and this enthusiasm is going to help put Quinn into City Hall. I'd like to introduce another pioneer, a woman who was in Congress, who was the Comptroller of the City of New York, and I wish she still was, or would be in the future, and a woman who has led races for the Senate and who has always been active in our civil life, Elizabeth Holtzman.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thanks to everybody. I'm so proud to be here today to endorse Quinn, the mayor of New York City, and to do so with so many esteemed colleagues in government, former colleagues, and wonderful people who are here. You know, we're standing in front of Eleanor Roosevelt Statue, and we can think about the great contributions that women have made, New York women have made, not just to the city and the state and the country and the world. From the outside, yes, her husband was president, but she was not an elected official. Just think of what difference great women can make on the inside. We've never had a woman there. It's about time.
It's about time.
It's long past time. Martin Luther King said, how much longer? Not much longer. November 2013. But it's not just as a woman that Christine Quinn would do an outstanding job as mayor. I've watched her in my many years of government and beyond that, and by the way, she worked for me when I was running for the U.S. Senate. I'm still very grateful. She learned from my mistakes, and I hope she won't make any of the ones I made. But in any case, she's grown in this job as Speaker. Speaker's not an easy job. We need a mayor who understands the financial issues, but we need a mayor who understands that above all, it's the people of this city who count. And that's what Christine Quinn knows, and that's what she'll do. And that's why I'm very proud to stand with her. She will be a great mayor, and let's bring next Eleanor Roosevelt inside.
I'm Ruth Messenger, former Manhattan Borough President. Appreciate all of the women who are here today and the many more who are on the lists as women endorsing Chris Quinn. And I appreciate tremendously, as Ronnie and Liz said, where we're standing. That is a woman with deep personal values, who thought about every person in the United States, and by the way, thought about many people that were not on her husband's radar, and found a way to move government for them, and then to do the same thing internationally. And it is that level of deep value and capacity to act on one's values that I see in Chris Quinn. Chris has an extraordinary career as a community leader, a city legislator, and a legislative leader. You'll have lots and lots of information about work that she's done, but as a housing activist earliest in her career, on the council she passed tenant protection legislation. She found funds to rehabilitate housing units. As someone who understands that for middle-class families in this city, education is essential, Chris Quinn mandated kindergarten, opened up new opportunities for pre-K, has figured out ways in the budget negotiations to keep both teachers and paraprofessionals from layoffs. And that is because that is what the families of this city most need and want, is a place to live, safe neighborhoods, and good schools. I had the privilege of serving on the city council for 12 years, and I will tell you that the job of getting the council to do anything, much less to move in the same direction, to be able to make compromises and make budgetary choices, and then speak with one voice to raise the power of what is a less strong than it might be legislative body of the city, is not easy. And in my time knowing New York City government, I have not seen anybody do that as well or as thoughtfully as Chris Quinn. She knows how to understand the issues. She knows how to speak to all of her members and their very different constituencies. She understands the diversity of this city, and she's able to find and pursue negotiated solutions and create a change in how the city operates for all of the people who live here. Chris Quinn is a candidate who will make a difference for the people who live in this city, for the middle-class families in every neighborhood. She knows New York City. She has roots in New York. She has found ways to move the council. She has found ways to make a difference and negotiate solutions on very complex issues. She's passed budgets and changed city priorities. She is the candidate for mayor who knows how to negotiate, who knows how to manage, and who knows how to get things done. She is the voice and the leader that we need for the middle-class families.
Thank you, and thank you for that really amazing introduction, and thank you and everybody here for everything you've done to make this city a better place in total, but particularly to make this city a better place for women and girls. The place where we stand now would not have been possible without all of the work you all have done in different ways, and Ruth, you're at the top of that list, so thank you so much. And not to be missed is here in a private capacity, but the work Ruth is doing now professionally is not just helping the city of New York, but literally the entire world and parts of the world that are in situations far worse, far darker than anything we could ever imagine in the city. So thank you for that bravery as well, Ruth. Jackie, you are an inspiration to all of us. You're someone who has taken unimaginable loss and responded to it with a level of grace and dignity that is really almost beyond the human capacity. And through that, you've brought hope and inspiration to other women who are in your situation and have begun to change the entire conversation in this country around gun violence. And when we get good gun legislation passed in Washington, you will be part of the reason why. So thank you so much.
And so will you.
And Ms. Holtzman, thank you for everything you've done. Your work as a Congressmember, a District Attorney, Comptroller, an advocate, has changed this entire city government to make it one that is more responsive and more there for people, particularly women and girls. And you've continued that struggle in so many ways since leaving office. So thank you so much. And Liz, thank you for all of your work keeping your mother's vision alive and making sure that through the Bella Abzug Leadership Institute, that opportunity goes to all young women and girls out there, particularly ones who are of shorter income and not as much means, to make sure that they are brought in to organizations like Bali that teach them the leadership skills so they can be future mayors of the city of New York. So thank you. And Ronnie, thank you so much for being here, but also thank you for all of your mentorship, support, guidance, encouraging, occasional raised voice when I was a staff member and a city council member. Much of what I've learned about how to be a good council member, I learned from watching Ronnie Eldridge when I worked for Tom Quinn and when I was at the Violence Project. Ronnie had never, ever said no when I've gone to her on any information. So Ronnie, I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you. And thank all of you who I've worked with in different ways at community groups or at the Anti-Violence Project or on community boards. All of you have made this city a better place. And there couldn't be a better place to be standing today than with Eleanor Roosevelt looking down on all of us from that statue. The first statue ever commissioned in the city of New York of an actual woman. I say that because there is a cartoon character, Alice in Wonderland, who had a statue before Eleanor Roosevelt. But in the 350 years of statues in the city of New York, this is the first one in the mid-90s made of an actual woman. 96. And that is important to me, obviously, because of the significant role that Eleanor Roosevelt had in changing this country and world for women and girls. But also, if you ask my father why he's a Democrat, he'll tell you because the Roosevelt family saved his family's life during the Depression. That's the answer I got my whole childhood, that the Roosevelt family, because he saw and his family saw in Eleanor and President Roosevelt a partnership that came together to help people and help families like his get out of poverty and into the middle class. And what my race for mayor is about is continuing to expand that opportunity for New Yorkers, to help hardworking people like my grandparents get into the middle class so their children can go on to college or graduate school and their children can grow up and be whatever they want to be. And to do that, as mayor, you have to have the experience and the record and the belief and commitment of having delivered for New York. That's right. And if you look at my record, it's not one of criticism and finger pointing. It's one of bringing people together to deliver real results. Results that have balanced 7 budgets on time. Results that have saved 4,100 school teachers from losing their jobs. Results that have kept every firehouse in the city of New York open even during the worst recession. Results that have passed more pro-tenant legislation than any city council in history. Results which now allow a tenant to take their landlord to court if they are being harassed. Results that come September, we won't just have a Democratic primary, but come September, for the first time in the history of the city of New York, kindergarten will be mandatory in every school and every neighborhood. And that builds on top of the 10,000 full-day pre-kindergarten seats my colleagues and I have now brought to the city of New York. So it's incredibly important that our next mayor is someone who understands you have to bring people together. You have to focus on results, you have to focus on delivering. And you have to do it in a way that's inclusive of all people.